Been a while, Vintage fans. Bryant Cook, and I am back to record Paradoxical Outcome, a card that I was very well known for in the year 2020. That summer, I really crushed a whole lot of Vintage challenges. I won 3 of them in a calendar month. But that was a very different build back then. It was 4 colors, there was white in there. Today, we're on a Grixis shell, and I'm pretty excited to play it. A card that I've been loving in Legacy recently is Galvanic Relay, a card that doesn't really admittedly see a whole lot of Vintage play. Today we're trying it. So if you're familiar with the Vintage format and the content creators surrounding it, you may know Justin Gennari. I am actually level 1, and Justin and I share a very similar opinion on this deck, and that is that it is not a great Urza Saga deck. That said, if you look at MTG Goldfish, all of the Paradoxical Outcome decks have Urza Saga in it. But Justin and I share this opinion that what PO does well, and that's Paradoxical Outcome, it does well is you want a low land count to increase the number of permanent mana sources you can return with Paradoxical Outcome. And when you resolve a Paradoxical Outcome, you don't want to draw lands. You want to draw more spells to keep the chain going and have a coherent plan within your strategy. The current builds play 16 lands, less permanent mana sources, and Outcome feels like a really bad card in the deck a lot of the time when you're playing it. So it's tough. So I've been thinking a lot about potential fixes, and I decided that Galvanic Relay might be worth exploring. So it, like Paradoxical Outcome, rewards you for having a bunch of cheap artifacts in your deck. So when you play your Black Lotus, Mox Sapphire, Mox Ruby, all these cards, including Mox Opal, this is just Vintage the Epic Storm. I'm joking. But when you play all these spells, you're rewarded both from Outcome and from Galvanic Relay. That's really interesting to me, but I do think there's a much larger cost in Vintage. You're more likely to die on the first turn. That's a bummer. So you want more interaction in hand. Another thing is, unlike Legacy, Flusterstorm is a pretty common card in Vintage, so there are more ways to stop it. That said, people run a lot of Pyroblast and stuff like that too, so Galvanic Relay is still a really powerful card, but I'm just noting that, I mean, we're running 3 Flusterstorms in our main deck today. People have counters for this card, but I still think it's worth exploring. And the last reason not to play it is, well, it's really only good against the prison strategies. There are a lot of blue decks in the format, so they could lock you out. Also, some people run Mindbreak Trap. I guess you could put that in there with Fluster. I'm not doing a good job of selling Galvanic Relay right now, but I think it makes sense in the deck. So when you're building up a short relay on the first turn, it can be for 2 or for 3. Ideally, you want to hit that 4 or 5 range, but you're setting up more successful Paradoxical Outcomes. And one thing that I was initially concerned about with this deck was, well, what if I exile my win condition, my Tendrils of Agony, to the Galvanic Relay in the early game? What then? So when you look through the deck list, there's not another win condition, except there actually is. There's a hidden gem. We have Golos Citadel. Sacrifice 10 permanents, each opponent loses 10 life. How crazy is that? So we're going to double activate Golos Citadel alongside Yawgmoth's Will. That is our backup win condition in case this Tendrils of Agony gets exiled. I optimized this deck list to maximize Galvanic Relay, which it may not seem like it looks like it, but I promise you it is. We're running a Lotus Petal today, a card that does not see play in Paradoxical Outcome strategies. But we're running this. It's another artifact that enables Mox Opal, and it also allows you to turbocharge your Galvanic Relays, which is pretty sweet. So that's the first card. The second card is a card I'm traditionally a hater of. I do not like this card one bit, and that is Repeal. So Repeal is actually pretty good right now. I mean, I don't want to say this out loud, but here I am. So it's fine because of the construct tokens. You're able to bounce a 5/5 or 6/6 for 1 blue mana, draw a card. Sweet, I just read the card to you. But when you're running Relay, you're getting 2 cards off it, theoretically 3, because you're going to draw a card off this, you cast a spell, and then you replay the Sapphire. So it's more ways of gaining card advantage with Galvanic Relay to bury your opponents in the dirt, which, you know, should be what we're looking to do here today. I believe that covers most of the unique choices within the strategy. If you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those in the comment section down below. Even the sideboard today is pretty stock. I have been running Leyline of the Void in the sideboard recently in my Tinker Breach deck, But in Paradoxical Outcome, we really want Tormod's Crypt because it plays so well with the Opal, but also the Galvanic Relay. So I guess that's somewhat of a unique choice, but I think Tormod is just the default card here. That's enough of my rambling and deck tech. I hope you enjoyed this intro. I want to hop on in and play some Magic the Gathering. I'll see you in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We are on the draw against Captain Planet. We have opened up Boss's Citadel, which is not ideal. We have Mystical Tutor for Tinker, but it's also our blue card for Force. This hand's just not great in my opinion. I'd rather mulligan. This seems reasonable enough. We'll keep bottom the Underground Sea. Let's go. Polluted Delta, okay. Doomsday. Alright, not Doomsday. Demonic Tutor. So this is likely getting a Collector Oof, because I believe that this is bugged now. Alright, take a draw. Another Opal. Mox Jet. Play the top. Mox Opal. We'll pass the turn. They play a Mox Jet. Okay. 3 mana. They have Tinker. Can we find Flusterstorm off this top? Found Pyroblast. There's only 1 Pyro in the deck. Draw. One has 3 cards in hand. They've already played a land, which means that they probably have counter backup here. We will attempt a Pyroblast. They do have the Fluster. Bummer. Okay, so your Tinker will resolve. Boss's Citadel. They're passing. We don't have an artifact for Metalcraft, so a Mox would be our best draw here. Instead we draw another land. I can't cast the Paradoxical Outcome. I'm a mana short. I have to pass. Mox Sapphire. Time Vault. There's a Saga. Mox Pearl. Mana Crypt, and a Time Walk. I'm good to pick it up here. Okay, we can go to the next one. That was a bummer. Let's switch this to Pile View just for Vintage. It's kind of tough to see your entire deck in this view. Alright, I don't think we need Hurkyl's Recall, even though it is decent with the Relay. We're interested in some Pyroblast here. Repeal's probably fine. We're at 61. I'm going to shave a Repeal. Let's submit. Game number 2. This seems solid. Turn 2 Tinker with Force backup. Play the Delta. We'll play out our Moxen. I know that we're the Relay deck, but here we're trying to beat Flusterstorm and Mindbreak Trap, which are cards that people play. There's a Saga. And they're passing. Okay. On their end step, let's fetch with the Polluted Delta. We'll grab Underground Sea. Put Vampire Tutor on the stack. Until misstep. Do I really want to force this? The alternative is that I try to draw a blue card so that way I can peel for 2. I think I'm going to fight here. They don't have Flusterstorm, so they would need another force. Or need a force. Grab Tinker. Risky play, I know, but I think it's just one we need to make here. Sacrifice the Emerald. Tinker on the stack. And they did have Force too. Pitching Hull Breacher. Yeah, not looking good for the home team. Misty happens. Outclassed. Jeez. Black Lotus. I don't know what this does. I meant to click Q to zoom in. At the beginning of your end step, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, reveal the top cards of your library. For each type Among non-creature spells you cast this turn, you may put a card of that type from the reveal cards into your hand. I don't think that card's... So they've cast Sorcery Artifact. So they can put Time Walk and then Citadel or Top. I mean, I've already lost this game. This wizard doesn't have much of an impact. Take a draw. So I could replay Delta Emerald. And I'm still 1 mana short of Tinker. I'm going to fetch now to avoid Needle on my Flooded Strand. Saga triggers. Mana Crypt. Time Walk, sure thing. And they're spinning the top. They attack, I'll go to 13. So they still get an extra turn after this, plus the Hercules trigger. Sorts the Plowshares, Snapcaster, Fluster. They did not play... What did they get here? They gained a card. Sorcery... I'm not actually sure what they gained there. They didn't play an instant, so they can't gain an instant. Spinning top. Alright, so they must have flipped top the previous turn. I just wasn't paying attention. Darset, that's fine. Yawgmoth's Will. They play a Scalding Tarn. 4 mana. They play the Will. Lotus. Time Walk again. Demonic Tutor, pretty strong. Ouch, taking 2. I think I've reasonably lost this game at this point. I'm sort of just interested in seeing how this pans out. And the small chance I am able to play the online Eternal Weekend, I'd like to learn some things while I'm playing today. They find Paradoxical Outcome. I wasn't actually convinced that they were an outcome deck up until this point. Okay, I'm going to go to 9. And they're going to cast the outcome. I'm just going to pick it up. We got bodied. 0-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this hand. We have Force Blue card. It's also the perfect Galvanic Relay hand, where we have 2 artifacts to play into the turn 1 relay, but we also have Repeal to create Storm. So we have a Force protected Galvanic Relay for at least 5. I am in. Underground Sea. Mox Emerald, okay. Soul Ring. We're facing the mirror again, okay. A little rough. Looks like they're peanut butter and jamming here. Force of Will, pitching Ponder. They have 2 in hand. Take a draw. Another Repeal. I am down. Okay, so we'll float a blue, bounce the Sapphire, draw a card. We drew Soul Ring, which is great. Bounce the Sapphire again. Drew Force of Will. Turn is 6. We'll play the Soul Rings from 7. Fetch for Volcanic Island. And Galvanic Relay for 8. So we are in a spot where we need to live. This is the downside of Galvanic Relay. We do not have access to these cards right here. That said, if we get to untap, we likely win the game. 3 mana. That's a Tinker. And Citadel. Okay, hope you reveal another land. Well, they passed the turn. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Mox Opal. Black Lotus. Tap Soul Ring. We'll play a top. Now we're going to hold priority. We're going to activate the top. Cast the PO. Okay. And here our first PO is for a bunch due to the Galvanic Relay being great. And they have a Fluster. We can Fluster back. I guess I could have gotten another Fluster to protect it, but that seemed a little odd. With the Merchant Scroll. Okay. Looks like they're paying for the flusters. That's interesting. Okay, so all of my copies of Flusterstorm have now resolved, and we are down to my opponent's copies. I'm going to sacrifice this Black Lotus. Yes, I would like to pay. Yes, I would like to pay. Yes, I would like to pay. So now Outcome is back on the stack. They do have a new fresh card off the top with Boss's Citadel, and it's Vampiric Tutor. Wow. That's brutal. Citadel too strong. And another Fluster. I had a relay for 8, and yikes. Not good enough to beat Tinker Citadel, but not many things are. Jeez. Okay. So our PO has been countered. I'll draw a card off this top, and I drew the Citadel. Not a card we really need here, and I have to pass, unfortunately. Outcome for 2. I'm just going to hit the F6 key here. I have no way of interacting, so they either fizzle or they don't. But even if they do fizzle, they have 7 in hand now. I am likely out of this. They replay the Mox Emerald. They sacrifice the Black Lotus for triple black and then play Yawgmoth's Will. And then the Vampiric Tutor. They're at 6 life. Monastery Mentor, they're at 3. It's worth noting our opponent still has Paradoxical Outcome from the graveyard off of the Yawgmoth's Will, bouncing all of these artifacts and drawing cards. There's no chance we win this. Our opponent's kind of a slow player here, and I'm not trying to sit here all night waiting for them to combo, so I'm going to just pick it up. We've lost the first game. It's fine. I am interested in Pyroblast. Probably lose the Hercules and the Repeal again. I mean, that relay felt really good. I just didn't win. Like, our opponent had turn 1 Tinker into, or I'm sorry, turn 1 Paradoxical Outcome into turn 2 Tinker. Like, that's going to be tough to beat. Instead of drawing the Force there, if we had a Fluster, that would have been a very different game. So far, I feel like it's been a few rough breaks. I'll say that. So I have turn 1 Merchant Scroll. I think we keep this. It's unfortunate that I only have 1 blue. Play the Sapphire. Mana Crypt. Ruby. Jet. Play the top. Spin top. There's a relay. Do I take the relay for 6? I'd say so. Flop the top. Relay. So we know that there's a top and 2 lands in there. Mystical Tutor Time Walk. Mox Emerald. Mox Opal. Black Lotus, quite the hand. They have 4 cards. Is it a Hardcast Citadel? Or is it a PO for 2? Outcome for 2. Mox Jet. Mox Opal. And Emerald. 4 in hand. They pass. Okay. We'll yield to the Mana Crypt. Tails, I won! How crazy is that? And then on our upkeep, we'll cast this Mystical. What to get here, though? I don't want to get Ancestral because that's what this Merchant Scroll can eventually grab. I think it's supposed to, I think it's crazy, but I think it's supposed to be Pyroblast. Play the Volcanic. Play top. Time Walk. Spin the top. Those are all good cards. Okay. They have 4 in hand. Draw. By Merchant Scroll for Fluster. I don't have enough mana to pay for it. Because I don't have 3 blue. Cast Tinker will sacrifice the Sapphire. Because if I can replay it off Will, it's another blue. And we have a Lotus Petal on top. Mystical Dispute. That is not a card I've seen out of these decks before. I guess I'll Pyroblast. Tinker. This is another Dispute. Okay. Alright, so I know that I have Lotus Petal on top. So I can play Petal into Yawgmoth's Will, which allows me to replay Sapphire Petal. But that doesn't get me another Tinker. What I think I'm supposed to do here is try to resolve Ancestral. And that happens. Drew another top. Pass the turn. Misty and they're passing. I like to see that. Grab the underground and let's spin the top. Decent. Draw Fluster. Let's attempt to put the win on the stack. Yawgmoth's Will. He stacked a graveyard here. And the opponent agrees that it was a win. Sweet. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try that again. So we have Tinker, but no fast mana here is a little bit odd. It's usually pretty hard to get me to mulligan Tinker hands, but this is just, it's like a EDH hand. Like there's one land in it, no mana, you just can't keep that. This is much better. And I believe you're supposed to bottom the top. They probe. Are you passing the turn? What was that? I gain priority after the probe. That's strange. They play Pluto Delta. Okay, so they had the land. We draw land. We do. Play the Pluto Delta. We'll show them our draw step. I don't want to have to sacrifice the Lotus Petal. They're going to force a will my Mox Sapphire. I'll pass the turn. I feel like our opponent was setting us up there for a trap with Mystical Dispute, and I'm not going to bite. Mox Pearl. Black Lotus, 2 cards in hand. Well, you're not the only one who can draw Black Lotus. I can too. That one resolves. Play a Mox Opal. Fetch with the Delta. Grab Volcanic. Tap for a red, tap the Opal, and then use the Lotus Petal. Galvanic Relay for 4. We revealed another Galvanic Relay, Tolarian Academy. Let's see some action in here. I mean, I guess another relay is fine. Ooh, that Merchant Scroll was good. Let's go! Opal, they have 2 in hand. Force of Will number 3. Play the Tolarian Academy. The Ruby. Tap this for 3 blue. We'll cast Merchant Scroll. Galvanic Relay hanging out in exile. Ancestral Recall. We'll cast that targeting myself. This should prompt them to respond, and they don't. Wow. Okay, we'll tap this Opal for blue, and then return it. Yawgmoth's Will, huh? Do you have nothing? Tap it for blue. Play another Opal. Keep the new one. Tap this for a blue. Sacrifice the Black Lotus for black. Yawgmoth's Will. Storm 7. Looks like they're going to attempt to hardcast a Force here. Outcome for 2. Force Pitch Force. And the opponent concedes! I do think Relay for 4 played a pretty big importance in this game specifically. It was fine in the other game. We're 1-1. We faced Outcome twice now. Let's see how it does against some other decks. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, our opponents began the match by revealing a Lurrus of the Dream Den. We have a Galvanic Relay hand, which is usually decent against Lurrus decks. We could probably use like a Mox Opal to really have this hand pop off, but this is a decent one. They're on the play with 5 cards. Fisher's Bauble. Black Lotus. For 3 blue for a Brainstorm. Pause here, let them know that we're thinking, and then let it resolve. Flooded Strand, Time Walk. Sure. They're at 1 card in hand right now. Volcanic Island, they use the Bauble. After their draw step, they will be up to 3. So they get the draw of Bauble, and then their draw step. So they have 3 cards now. They play a Misty Rainforest. Volcanic Island. Dread or Darkenist with 1 in hand. You've got it. Take a draw. Come on, Mox Amber, or Mox Opal. Another relay. Play the Pearl. Mana Vault. So I could relay for 3 here. I could also bounce the Dread Horde, but I don't know if that makes sense. My gut tells me that I should relay. 3 cards coming off the top for us. Fire Blast, Paradoxical Outcome, Volcanic Island. They attack with the Dread Horde. They do get to cash in that Brainstorm, so they're going to go up a card up to 3, but they're 3 sculpted cards. We take 1 off the Dread Horde. Misty down to 2 cards in hand. Play a Bobble. And they're passing. Well, okay, they went to end step and then decided to fetch there, sure. I guess you want to use your Bobble? Okay. I could bounce the Mana Vault here and not take a damage, but I want to see what my draw step is first. See if it gives me any additional information. It's just an island. I'm a mana short here of casting... Oh, no! Ah, no. I was supposed to play the Volcanic. Whoops. That was bad. That was real bad. Okay. Gotta play better than that. I'll bounce the Vault. See if I can draw into a Mox that allows me to replay it into the outcome. Merchant Scroll. This has admittedly been a very odd draw. I can't believe I just wasted the value from the Volcanic here. I know better than that. They have 3 in hand. There does seem to be a little bit of friction here between wanting to be a Lurrus deck, so you play Mishra's Bauble, and then being a Dread or Arcanist deck where these could have been preordains and you'd have spells to flash back. Underworld Breach. Yeah. They escape Black Lotus. Put Lurrus to hand. Nope, they just time locked. Okay. No value off their Dread Horde. So they just get an extra untap. So that was basically a cycle. That wasn't even a good use of the Breach. But they did find a preordained, so props to them. They put 2 cards on the bottom. Now they attack again with the preordain. Cast the preordain again. 1 on top, 1 on the bottom that time. So they have 4 cards in hand. We'll take a draw. We find our black swords. Merchant Scroll. We are blasted. Vampiric Tutor. Let's just put Tinker on top. I think we want Tinker on top. We could put Ancestral on top. I'm just going to put Tinker. Galvanic Relay for 4. Time Walk. Fluster. So we have... Oh, no, we hit the Citadel! Oh, classic me. Classic me. Oh, geez. Worst case scenario. They find another preordain. So if we tinker away the Mana Vault, we can go get Lotus. But that doesn't do it. I knew that was a risk when I cast the relay. Like, I wasn't... I thought the odds of it happening were pretty low. And it just happened to happen. So I think that might have cost me the game. Wasteland, that's obviously very good here. Oh no. Take a draw. Land. I think they've got me. Cast Tinker, sacrificing Mana Vault. A Pyroblast will fetch. Grab the Underground Sea. Attempt a Fluster Storm. A Force Pitching Expressive Iteration. Okay. Yikes. They're on 1 card versus... So they have 2 cards in hand currently with the Dread Horde versus my Tendrils of Agony. Who's winning really? Uh-oh. That's not good. They're about to win. Yep, we can concede to that. They found Ancestral Recall with Dread Horde. The relay was not enough to carry me that game. We do not need the Hercules. Obviously, we want the Pyros. Get rid of the Repeal. We've had this board plan a lot so far tonight. That draw just... It ended up being really strange. We were cut off black for a while. The Tendrils of Agony obviously rotted in my hand the entire game. The relay hit one of the few cards we didn't want to hit. That said, the Tinker didn't resolve anyway, so they didn't actually end up mattering, but it was just very, very odd. Game number 2, we're on the play this time. Sure. This hand is a relay or a peel away. I'm just going to play land pass. No need to play out the artifacts when we have the relay in our library. Misty pass from the opponent. Sapphire, pass the turn. They are fetching. You can have a preordain. 2 to the bottom. They missed their land drop. Clean up. They lose a merchant scroll. Ding! Okay. Play the opal. And then let's cast Galvanic Relay. 5 cards coming off the top rope. This time we actually have the mana to cast the cards as well. Pyroblast, Demonic Tutor. That's obviously a good one. Force of Will. Misty. Bluster. Yeah, I mean, that's a protected Tinker next turn. Oh, I did not mean to click OK on that. Whoops. That was honestly a mistake. Sure. That was really bad. Okay, so now I just have to beat their free Ancestral Recall that I should have never have resolved. I lost the flip. We'll take a draw step. Play the land from exile like I should have last game. I have not been playing well. It's been a while since I've vintaged, and certainly showing some of my rust here tonight. Test the Demonic. Force Pitch Time Walk. Counter the Force. Demonic Tutor. Grab Tinker. We'll sacrifice the Mox Opal. Resolves, grab Loss's Citadel. I'll take a relay. One of the cool things about relay here with Citadel is we can actually cast spells in the middle. And the opponent concedes. Love it. Love it. Headed to game 3. Imagine if somebody better than me was playing this deck right now. What a world. No misplays. It would be wild. Think of the ceiling. Well, this is a hand. They've kept. Guess we'll keep. I'd like another 0 off the top. Volcanic Island, Preordain. One on top, one on the bottom. Come on, Artifact. Not quite. Mana Crypt. Academy. I'm going to push my luck here. Ancestral. Ooh. They got me. I thought they were F6'd. Force Pitching Preordain. Okay. Though how fast that Mana Crypt resolved, they tricked me into the Wasteland. Okay, so I didn't stand a chance there anyway. Like, my alternative was, like, play and pass the turn, which wouldn't have worked out. But we might die to this Mana Crypt this game. I can't do anything. Draw Ruby. Pass. That would have been a really good draw last turn. They play their own Ruby. 3 cards. That's a Dread Horde. Mana Crypt. Lost the flip this time. We go to 17. Volcanic Island again. Merchant Scroll. Am I getting blasted? Yeah, I'm getting blasted. They have 1 card in hand at the moment. I wonder if I'm supposed to try to blast this Preordain. They drop to 2. I guess there's a small world where I draw Black Lotus off the top. And then we could play Citadel, but I mean, it's 1 out of 50. Pretty low probability of happening here. I'm going to attempt to counterspell this. Rather than let them create or snowball card advantage. They have 2 in hand. Come on, deck. Please give me Black Lotus. Come on. Draw. Relay. Might as well cycle it, I think. The saddest relay of them all. Mox Opal. Scalding Tarn. They have 2 in hand. This gives them a white source. I don't know if that matters or not. Prismatic Ending. Oh, wow. That's so good with the Dread Horde here. Yeah. And I can't even fluster it because they can just pay. Oh, that was insane. Okay. Play the Opal. I am so far out of this game at the moment. Our opponent also still has the choice of putting Lurrus to hand, and they haven't done that yet. I'm at 11. Top. I will attempt to fluster. Okay. Does the top happen? It does. Another Dreadhorde. Is that really better than putting Lurrus to your hand? I'm going to go to 9. Upkeep, spin the top. Lotus Petal, Mystical Tutor. I mean, Tinker doesn't actually do anything for me here. Mystical Tutor for Yawgmoth's Will, but even that's not amazing. Draw the Petal. Pass the turn. They swing. We go to 7 off the Dreadhordes. They have 2 in hand. With third Dreadhorde, you've got it. Spin the top. Okay. So if I end step Mystical for Will, I just don't think it does enough. So we're going to draw the Mystical. So right now, if I tap the Opal, cast Mystical for Will, flop the top for the Will, cast the Will, assume that it even resolves, I can then replay the Lotus Petal, Galarian Academy, or should I just wait a turn? I feel like that's probably the better alternative here. Aggressive Iteration. Mystical Tutor in response. Grab Yawgmoth's Will. And I'm going to attempt to fluster here. Alright, so the Expressive has been countered. They can attack and put me to 4. Alright, so Pyroblast is online until end of turn. I go to 4 life. Second main phase, they do nothing. And now we can spin top, see if we have anything hiding underneath the Yawgmoth's Will. Axiom Probe. I feel like that's not the worst one, but I don't know if it's actually what I want here. Because that actually takes a turn off if I'm not able to win. Yeah, and it actually plays into Pyroblast too, so I don't think I'm going to. Let's draw. Sacrifice. Cast the Yawgmoth's Will. Turn 1. That resolves, we'll replay Lotus Petal. Play the Galarian Academy. Let's cast Mystical Tutor. I think the card we might want here is Time Walk. Alright, and now we will Ancestral Recall targeting me, floating 1 blue. We get another Galvanic Relay. Play out the Opal. From 5. 1 mana short of these relays being live. I suppose instead... The Merchant Scroll gets Brainstorm or something else. I could just relay. Go to 1. I think that's probably the play here. And then next turn I can Time Walk. Alright, 6 cards. Please don't kill me. I'm going to go to 1 life here. Pretty exciting match. I'm at 1. No blocks. They play a land. So if they have one, they could fetch Mystic Sanctuary here. I don't know if decks are actually... I should check the list right now. No Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, draw. We find a Mox Emerald. Play the Lotus. They have 1 in hand. They appear to be F6'd. Emerald. Tap the Opal for blue. Alright, we have a bunch of mana here. Let's hold priority and cast the Paradoxical. Use the green, leave some blue floating. Outcome. Draw the card. Beautiful. We get the Tendrils. This should be a win. Okay, I mean, Relay was decent here. I'm not trying to pretend that like Relay is winning these games on its own, but it's been serviceable so far. And I do feel like it's made our outcomes a tad bit better. Sacrifice the Lotus. And then I'm just going to Tendrils them. Tendrils coming in. Boom! 2-1, 2 matches left to go. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Match number 4, we're on the draw, and this hand is unplayable, super clunky. Tinker. I'm in. No clue what our opponent plays. My gut tells me to get rid of the Mystical Tutor, so we'll do that. Scalding Tarn, Sapphire, Ruby, 3 cards in hand. Force is an amazing draw. Play out the Emerald, play top. Scalding Tarn for an Underground Sea. Vampiric Tutor. Okay. 3 mana. Tenka. Didn't see that coming. Force of Will pitching Hercules. Looted Delta, and they have 1 in hand. Spin the top. A lot of these look like they'll do. Wonder if there's a better way with this Brainstorm. That way the Tinker's protected. I can Brainstorm into Mana Vault, which just replaces itself. Not really sure. What if I just put both of these on top? Like bait out with the outcome, see if it resolves. Alright, hold priority. And the opponent immediately concedes! Yes! Love to see it. Didn't even need to Tinka. Gotta say like you're from Boston. Tinka. Board out these Hercules Recall. And another repeal. They kept 7. Am I supposed to keep this? No clue. With Galvanic Relay in your deck, these zeros do end up being a little bit more valuable. If they try to force check me, we actually have it. Black Lotus. 3 mana for a Mana Vault. Sure. Really, the Peel Mirror again. It's kind of odd. Opal. Yeah. Narset. I'm going to attempt to force. 2 mana. They'll spin top with an open Opal. Force of Will on the stack. They're drawing a card after they floated a blue for a Flusterstorm? Nope, for Force of Will. Okay. They have 1 card in hand. They pick up Tinker. Wow. Okay. Let's play the Delta past the turn. Tinker is quite the last card to have in hand here. Brainstorm. Scalding Tarn. Fetch. I have to imagine their last card is still Tinker. They use the Narset. They find Fluster. Wow. I'm in a lot of trouble here. Fetch. Take a draw. Vamp. Play out the Jet. Pass the turn. Okay. I'm not even sure what a good Vampiric Tutor target is here. Oh wow, and they hit Mana Crypt for their draw? So now they have Tinker with backup. Yeah, okay. That was an insane run of cards from the opponent. They got me. We're headed to game number 3. Wow. I think we just resubmit. Game 3. Do you keep a hand because it has Ancestral in it? Because otherwise this hand kind of stinks. I think you should mulligan. Much better. This is a turn 2 Tinker with double backup. Keep. Okay. Mana Crypt. Fetch. Grab the Underground Sea. Demonic Tutor. Grab the Tinker. Pass. Scalding Tarn, Mox Ruby. I don't like this. You're making me feel bad, like you have Fluster in hand. Okay. I mean, it's not getting any better. Just put your spell in the stack. And if they have it, it's unfortunate. Okay, Force Pitching Probe. Force Pitching Outcome. Tinker. And it resolves. Wow. Relay for 4. I'm going to try to destroy the Citadel here. No, they don't. Okay, so Fluster's going to get exiled. Pyroblast. Can I bounce their... Yeah. Yeah. I can't force myself for the Sapphire here. Another Relay. Let's cast that. We go to 7. Okay. We're going to leave that Pyroblast on top. Play out the Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. We're in a pretty good spot here. Relays off of Citadel. Obviously, you'd prefer to win the game on the same turn, but we're untapping with an insane position. I will go to 5. They have 4 in hand. We're 3-1 with Galvanic Relay PO. Look at all this stuff in exile. It's absolutely insane. Whew. All right, 5th and final round coming up. With Cardhoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Cardhoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Cardhoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The 5th and final round, we are on the play once again with Galvanic Relay 3-0 for the 4-1. Would I like to be on the play? Absolutely. Hell yeah, I'm keeping this. Turn 2 Tinker with Force Backup. That's what I'm here for. Alright, Mox Emerald. Mana Vault. Scalding Tarn, and we're just going to pass. Urza's Saga. Sure thing. Mox Emerald. Pearl? Oh, you're one of these people. The people that don't play blue. Okay. I would never. Imagining having to looking your children in the eye and you tell them that you chose not to play the best thing. That can't be me. Just can't be me. Imagine not playing Island. Come on. Mystical Tutor. Alright, if I'm being serious for a second, my computer is lagging a little bit, so I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. It pretty much destroyed a Pioneer video I recorded last week, so I'm really nervous about this just messing up because I want to get the 4-1 here. New motto from Daybreak Games is, I don't know, I feel like I need to restart more often, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Alright, sacrifice the Mana Vault, put Tinker on the stack, go get the Bolas's Citadel, the Chicken Tenders. Okay, so this is going to break even. We'll need to not have Mental Misstep on top of our deck. That's unfortunate. And very awkward. Pass the turn. Saga goes up to 2. Hopefully they play a 1. Like a Soul Ring or something. An Island. Karn the Great Creator. My deck list is cold to that. I've already used the Tendrils. I guess in theory I could somehow build up to Yogg-Will into Tendrils, but extremely unlikely. This damn Mental Misstep cost me. Trials of the Void. You've already played Karn. They're the same card. I guess it stops my Clarion Academy out. I guess I have Repeal, but I can't repeal for 4. So I guess that's my... I could, in theory, repeal for 4 and somehow win the game. They choose Grafdigger's Cage. Sure. Draw off the Misstep. This will be countered. Bounce my Emerald in response. Okay, so that's going to be countered. Play a Ruby. Pay 4 life. We found the Repeal. Bounce Chalice of the Void. Whoops. Did not mean to pass phases there. Play Black Lotus. Ancestral. Wow, that was a large string of artifacts. Okay. I mean, it's still possible, just extremely unlikely. There's a land. My out here was finding Tolarian Academy, so I could ponder to shuffle. Let's try that. There's the Repeal. But unfortunately... Okay. Play the Pearl. Play Volcanic. Blast. Ooh, I should have flustered the Blast. Oh, that was bad. I should have flustered the Blast. I just realized it. Damn. Okay. That was obviously bad. Pass the turn. They create a construct. They grab Soul Ring. Baracus. I will attempt to Mental Misstep this ping mana. Yeah, I might have thrown this game by not flustering my own Pyroblast. In theory, I could have flustered my own Misstep there and then countered the... Yeah, that would have been another line to do. Why am I not doing these things? I could have flustered my own Misstep and then used the copy to counter The one targeting the misstep to clear it from the top of my deck. Oh! It's just been so long since I've like played Vintage. I played one league a month ago, but before that it's been 6-7 months. I am so rusty right now. They plus the Karn on my Black Lotus. Sure thing. Chalice of the Void. Yep, we knew that was in hand. Crucible of Worlds. Sure. Definitely could have played this better. We'll draw the Fluster. Come on, deck. Please give me Tolarian Academy. Punished. This could have been our draw step. We have to play it. And then I would have been looking at Force. Alright, let's clear the Construct token. So this allows me to play Tendrils, but I've already played my land, and I don't know how to make mana otherwise. Alright, so I'm going to go to 1. And then we will repeal the Mana Crypt. Oh, I can't win the game. That's why I wasn't supposed to play it. I needed that Yogg-Will to replay the Tendrils. I think I'm actually out of win conditions. Because I either need to play the Tendrils or Citadel twice. Play the Brainstorm. Alright, I wouldn't have found Tolarian Academy anyway. Damn. I mean, I could have played this better, though. Alright. So, they're on stacks. We can get rid of Flusters. The island's a little bit odd, but I think it's just for, like, maybe Tinker and some other stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really just they're on shops and I shouldn't buy too hard into the island. If I see a bunch of blue cards, I can always reboard for game 3, assuming that there is one. We'll get rid of the relay. We don't want that in this matchup. Bring in Needles as well. 59. Bring in a bolt for Karn, maybe? Or even 2 bolts? Get rid of this Mental Misstep. That card stunk. I think I'm good with this. Submit. I could have played that game so much better. On the play for game 2. Keep. This is pretty close to Return True Tinker with Force Backup, but I'd have to hit another 0 off this Brainstorm. So let's see what we can do here. Dang. Okay. Put double Hercules on top. Play the Mana Crypt. Play Opal. And then we'll pass the turn. Finisher's Workshop. We will Force of Will your Sphere. Vamp. Grab the Tinker. So then the question becomes, do you go for the Citadel or do you just get the Sphinx? We won the flip. My gut tells me that I want to try the Citadel again, but maybe I'm crazy. I'm going to go for it. Mox. Academy. Alright. Wasteland, that's devastating. Add some mana. They're switching phases to empty my mana pool. Relic, that's fine. I don't care about that. Seer's kind of annoying, will admit. Mana Crypt. Tails. We won the flip. We'll draw Underground Sea. When you cast spells with a sphere in play, you do have to pay 1, even though you're paying life. We want to put Demonic Tutor on the bottom, Opal in the middle, and then Force here. No, I do not want to shuffle. Play the Opal. Play Demonic Tutor. I'm going to get Time Walk. We flip the Force, which is not ideal. Play the Time Walk. I feel like this game probably would have been easier with the Sphinx, but here we are. Can't change it now. Won the flip again, how lucky. That's a good one. Blue. I'm going to go to 10 here. We'll draw another PO. No Hercules. Go to 7. I'm sorry, go to 9. Cast the Ancestral. Still no Hercules. Can I win the game? I'm going to fetch this away. We just don't need another Paradoxical Outcome here. Alright. So that does get Hercules. Okay, using a white. Grab the Recall. And of course, then I find one on top of my deck. Okay, I'll go to 4. They relic me, you can exile a land, I don't care. Mox Ruby. Mox Pearl, gotta increase that storm count. Mox Emerald. Mox Jet. Mana Crypt. Mox Opal. That is the 10th spell. Now we can make black black. Let's look at our opponent's hand real quick. Manifold Key, Thorn. Yeah, they're just stacks. That happens to have an island in it for like Field of Ruin or something. Okay, we got there. Going to game 3 on the draw versus prison though. Not where you want to be. Just going to read some maybe I actually want this misstep. Is that crazy? We saw Cage, Relic, maybe board out. I think I'm just gonna leave it out of the deck. Hit submit. Hope to get lucky. I mean, if I don't have to force on the first turn, this is really good, but it's usually not the case when you're playing this matchup. They've kept 7. Keep. Mishra's Workshop. Mox Ruby. 4 mana. Lodestone Golem. I think I'm actually going to let that go. They have 4 cards. Take a draw. Another PO. We cannot cast out... We can't play the outcome this turn, but we could play it next turn. And we boarded in 2 Lightning Bolt. Ancient Tomb. This will put us to 15. Ouch. Provoker. I think I'm supposed to force this. So if I don't, then the fetch brings me down to an even 14. And then this actually just becomes lethal in 2 turns. Oh, they got me. Hook, line, and sinker. Damn. I think I'm going to lose this now. Go to 9. Lightning bolt off the top, please. They have 2 in hand. So now Hurkyl's Recall could do it, but I only get 1 chance. 1 opportunity to seize the moment. Actually, Hurkyl's doesn't do it. Like, I could bounce the Lodestone to live a turn, but I wouldn't then be able to cast PO. I'm 1 mana short. I think we're supposed to go to 3 and grab the other basic. Lightning Bolt. Not good enough. We lost to Shops. Okay, so we finished this league 3-2. I don't know. I thought it was decent. The last match was a little bit swingy. I probably booted. I mean, I definitely booted that first game versus Shops. I could have played that so much better, even with the Karn. And then the first round, we just got steamrolled. Like, sometimes that happens in Vintage where you just don't get to do your thing because the opponent's draws were better. And I'm not going to pretend that, like, I could have done a whole lot. Like, their draws were just top-tier draws. They ran me over. It happens. Overall, I felt like Galvanic Relay was fairly good. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I don't think it's going to be revolutionary, but I do think there may be something here because Galvanic Relay and Outcome play to the same thing that you're interested in, which is 0 mana artifacts. You could probably even push this further by playing 4 opals. I looked for a cut for the 4th opal and couldn't find one when I was building this. Definitely interested in your feedback. That's all I have time for. It's getting pretty late already, but thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Keep storming, and yeah, have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.